This is the Washington Times front page for Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer vowed to fight for his job as calls grow for him to resign amid mounting controversy over his political ties to Peter Mandelson. Joseph Hammond reports Mandelson was a senior Labour Party figure whose name appears in documents released by the Department of Justice in connection with investigations into the late convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. At issue is not only Mandelson's appearance in the files, but also Starmer's appointment of him in 2024 as ambassador to the United States. Some lawmakers in Starmer's own center-left Labour Party have called on him to resign, but Starmer told lawmakers he won't step down. Politicians in Democratic-led states are working to end cooperation with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, but some conservative local officials say they'll find ways to work around the bans. In Maryland, Carrie Pickett reports both houses of the legislature have passed bills to shut down cooperative agreements between sheriffs and ICE, but Frederick County Sheriff Chuck Jenkins said he'd consider filing a lawsuit if Governor Wes Moore signs the legislation into law. At issue are 287G agreements that require state and local authorities to go beyond basic levels of cooperation and take proactive steps to assist ICE. In New York State, 14 jurisdictions have active 287G agreements. In proposing to end those agreements late last month, Governor Kathy Hochul said ICE has enough money that it doesn't need the help from local police, which she said should focus on state matters. Progressives in the Democratic Party are on the verge of a win in a special election in New Jersey's 11th congressional district. Days after ballots were cast, Seth MacLachlan reports the race remains too close to call. The latest numbers show activist Analia Mejia holding a slight lead, 29.1%, to former Representative Tom Malinowski's 27.7% in a field of 13 candidates. Things got awkward when the Democratic National Committee prematurely put out a press release congratulating Malinowski. It opened the DNC to ridicule from the party's left wing, which said it proved Washington insiders had been rooting for the former congressman all along. Whoever comes out on top will face Republican Joe Hathaway on April 16th, and the winner of that matchup will finish out New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill's congressional term. More states are moving toward bell-to-bell bans on student cell phones in K-12 schools, citing evidence of reduced distraction and improved academic performance. Sean Salai reports 38 states have enacted laws rolling back student phone access over the past 3 years to curb a surge in screen addiction and related behavior problems. Further, students in 19 states are now required to store them away all day in a pouch or locker. Support for expanding the bans has grown on both sides of the aisle over the past year. A Republican-sponsored bill pending in Georgia would extend the state's bell-to-bell ban from K-8 students to high schools. In Wisconsin, Republican lawmakers are seeking to stretch their ban to cover the entire school day, and a bipartisan bill to do the same in Pennsylvania has received support from Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro. And finally, ordering in once an occasional indulgence has become a nationwide habit, particularly among young adults who become addicted to food delivery apps. Susan Ferricchio reports the online food delivery business, led by DoorDash and Uber Eats, was projected to generate a record $36.3 billion in revenue in 2025, up from $31.9 billion in 2024. Gen Z and millennials are driving the online food ordering craze. Nearly 40% of people in that group use a food delivery app at least once a week, according to a recent YouGov poll. And among adult users of DoorDash, the nation's most popular food app, 85% are 44 or younger. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.